34 of the finest racing drivers on the planet are on your screen. This is it, the 2017 KZ World Championships. In a few moments, history will be written here at Wackersdorf in Germany. You are looking at the pole sitter Anthony Abbas, kart number 8, the fastest qualifier, one of the favourites to take out the title. So we say 34 of the finest drivers in the field. There's Iglesias on the outside of the front row of the grid, and Paulo De Conto, the reigning world champion, on the second row. You just got a glimpse of the driver from Treviso. However, there is a lot of attention on one driver in particular here this weekend as Patrick Hayek warms up. Ronnie Quintarelli. We go back to 1999. He was the European champion in this category. He's had a long and distinguished career racing in Japan. 4-time Japanese Super GT champion. Formula One test driver, Super Formula driver. He is back at the top level of world karting and taking his place on the grid. It's great to have Ronnie Quintarelli here in Germany, and we spoke to him here at Wackersdorf. Ronnie Quintarelli, welcome back to World Championship kart racing.
Yeah, I'm here again after almost 18 years. It's very nice and really extremely happy to be back in this great world. I had a dinner with Birel and team people just to enjoy our time after a long time. And yeah, I was keeping talking about the karting, and they said, why don't you drive the World Championship? They said, wow. In the moment they asked me about that, it was like if somebody like Ferrari asked me to drive in Formula One. It was the same. I was really excited, and yeah, honestly, when somebody, like especially these people, they ask me about karting, it's difficult to say no.
You've had a very long and successful career in Japan, the best part of 10 years, Super Formula, 4 times Japanese Super GT champion, even Formula One test driver for a period. What has been the highlight of racing in Japan for the last 10 years?
Yeah, at first I would say when I came back to karting in 2002, after 2 years in Formula Renault, I had a very great season with in the World Championship, Formula Super E. Thanks to that, Pierre-Henri Raffanel, a former Formula One driver, he scouted me and they asked me if I want to go to Japan. And I've been in Japan now for 15 years, and I won the Formula 3 Championship. And then after becoming Nissan Nismo factory drivers, I could win 4 times the Super GT Championship, being the most titled driver. And since I was a kid, my dream was to win the World Championship karting. I won in '99 the European Championship in Formula C. Unfortunately, in '99, I was really close to win the World Championship. In 2002 as well, I was leading the championship until the last race and 2 times second. I'm getting old, but to dream, it doesn't cost anything. So I will push very hard in this weekend until the last lap, the last corner of the last lap. Yeah.
Ronnie, great to have you here racing at Wackersdorf, the CIK KZ World Championships this weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye.
We go back to 1999 and he came within 2 corners, Marienburg, of winning the Super A title. Maybe he can make up for it this afternoon. Well, the waiting is over. Jeremy Iglesias in the Formula K kart is the first to lead them down into the first corner, but it is the driver from Nantes in France, Anthony Abbas, incredibly, who is coming back from injury. Remember at the Fernando Alonso circuit, he rolled that kart and left the circuit in an ambulance. Many wrote off his chances. He came here on Friday night, put that Saudi kart on pole position, and he starts on pole for the final of the 2017 World Championships. Many say he is a favourite, along with the reigning world champion. We'll get to him in a moment, Paulo De Conto. This is the grid for you. Abbas in the Saudi kart, Iglesias, so it's an all-French front row. Patrick Hayek from just over the border in the Czech Republic starts out of grid 3 alongside the reigning world champion, Paulo De Conto. Kramers and Puhaka, Camponeschi and Federer, Marco Ardigo, the 3-time world champion, alongside, on the 4th row of the grid, I should say, Jorrit Pex, David Foray. There is Petro Hilbrand. He won the KZ2 International Super Cup, this event last year. Marco Ardigo, he's on the 10th row of the grid. There's Quintarelli down there in position 27. One spot ahead of Rectoresen, the 2014 European champion. Final row of the grid, Luca Corberi and the Finnish driver Henry Kokko. 34 of the finest drivers on the planet. There's Federer and Kamponeski on the 4th row. David Foray out of grid number 9, the 4-time world champion, alongside Jorrit Pex, Jay Pex in the 9 CRG, who won this title at Le Mans in 2015. Hiltbrand is out of 12 alongside Bas Lammers. Jordan Lennox Lamb has spent the year as team manager for Fusion Motorsports, come back with the Tony Kart racing team. It's been super impressive. He starts alongside his countrymen, all British, 7th row of the grid. Benjamin Henley in the 23 Mag Croc Kart. But all eyes on the number 8 Saudi of Anthony Abbas. We go back to Laval, 1993, when David Terrien won the Formula A World Championship. It has been more than 2 decades for the French manufacturer. Anthony finished 2nd at this race last year in Sweden. Wants to go one better. There he is, the driver from Nantes in France. A big crash in the European Championships in Spain. It was doubtful whether he would even be racing here. Would he be racing here? Wow, he has taken pole and lines up on pole position for the final. There's Foray in the 15 Gold Kart, the 4-time world champion from grid number 9. Can he write his name into history here this afternoon? There's Jordan Lennox Lamb, the green helmet of the 26 Tony Kart. This is it. We have waited 1 year for the big one, the KZ World Championships. This field includes no less than 6 world champions. The reigning world champion is kart number 1 to the right of your screen on the 2nd row of the grid, Paolo De Conto. We wait for Henry Kokko and Luca Corberi to pull into position on the very last row of the grid. A big job for the Finn and the Italian respectively. Iglesias on the outside, Jeremy the Jet versus Anthony Abbas. An all-French front row of the grid. The World Championship final for 2017 goes green. And again, Jeremy the Jet rockets off the line. The Formula K will lead the opening lap of the KZ World Championship for 2017. Abbas back into 3rd spot. De Conto ominously in 4th. Hayek, it looks like he's the first of the Cosmic Karts up into 2nd place. Puhaka also up there. A good start from Foray. We'll see what's happened to Moraine Kramers. Not a good start from the Dutchman, back in about 6th or 7th position. Great start by Jorrit Pex in the number 9 CRG as they go down through the far part of the circuit for the first time. There's Moraine Kramers. Did not make the best start, and he's lost a couple of places right there and then on the opening lap. Jeremy Iglesias, the Frenchman in the Formula K, leads the opening lap of the World Championship. Patrick Hayek from the Czech Republic in 2nd spot. From Anthony Abbas, the pole sitter. Then it is De Conto in the number 1. Then Simo Puhaka in the 2nd Cosmic. Jorrit Pex, a brilliant start. Oh, a crash off the inside. Hayek has come together with Iglesias on the 2nd lap of the race. Can you believe what you have just seen? Hayek and Iglesias, well, that did not need to happen. Iglesias has continued on, but he's back in 6th position. Hayek is out. Let's have a look at the replay. Up the inside, Hayek thought there was a gap. Down the inside, was there space? Ooh, you tell me. Anthony Abbas, meanwhile, says merci beaucoup. The Frenchman now leads from, guess who? The reigning world champion, Paolo De Conto. Simo Puhaka is 3rd. Jorrit Pex, the 2015 world champion, up into 4th. Henley, an incredible start from the Englishman. From grid number 13, runs in 5, ahead of Iglesias, who is still circulating, ahead of Kramers, who's 7th. Lundberg, Kamponeski and David Foray, the 4-time world champion, rounds out the 10. Behind him, it's Hiltbrand, Vigano, Stan Pex, Chubarov, Dalet, Tieni. Ardigo is 17th from Tonteri, Pescador and Rectoresen. There's Ben Henley, up over the rise. P5 for the Englishman. So Abbas. The race settles down now as the field stream up the start-finish straight. That was Chubarov going side by side with Andrea Dalle and Felicitiene. Abbas is the race leader. Paolo De Conto in second place. Ben Henley, the fastest lap of the race at this early stage. 33-year-old from Manchester in England. 2015 European champion, GP2 driver. Also racing in Le Mans sports cars this year. Also did the Le Mans 24 hours, but has never won the big one, the World Championship. He runs P5 in the Mad Croc MC01. Trying to chase down Paolo De Conto. So Abbas, 0.3 of a second. De Conto, Henley trying to chase down Pex, of course. Iglesias is back in 6th spot after leading the opening lap of the race. Can he recover? It's going to be a Herculean task for the Frenchman. His countryman leads. That is Abbas, the front 5 pulling away. There's Iglesias, just ahead of Douglas Lundberg, another driver to be racing in Le Mans sports cars this year. The Swede runs in P7. Kramer's 8th, Kamponeski and Hilbrand rounds out the 10. So 0.3 of a second from Anthony Abbas to De Conto. Still Henley on the back of this group. Jorrit Pex in P4, the Dutchman. There's Henley in 5th. The gap, 0.3 of a second. Fastest lap again for Henley. He's quick in the early stages of this race. Puhaka is in 3rd. His teammate Patrick Hayek has joined Fabian Federer, the German-speaking Italian, as the only 2 retirements. We are down to 32, and an incident also for Bas Lemmers, one of the favourites for the World Championship, has had a coming together with, can you believe it, David Foré. How many World Championships between those 2 drivers? They've come together, but they are running 30th and 31st after both being inside the top 10. Their World Championship is effectively over. Henley runs P5. Abbas still 0.3 of a second again. Fastest lap for Henley. Immediately beaten by Pedro Hilbrand. He's running in 10th, the Spaniard, as the number 9 CRG goes up the inside of Puhaka. Puhaka tries to respond, so the CRG's running 2 and 3. Nice move by J-Bex. Jorrit into the hairpin. Was watching the Cosmic for the best part of 2 laps. We take a look at the replay. Down into the very steeply banked hairpin. Wow, he had to put it up over the ripple strip to avoid making contact with the Cosmic kart. Henley tried to capitalise and indeed has gone through. Up into 4th spot, the English driver. He was on the podium in the World Championships, Ben Henley I'm talking about, as far back as 2003 Formula A at Sarno when he was driving a Maranello kart. Running 4th, one step off another World Championship podium. But ominously, Paolo De Conto is closing in on the back of Anthony Abbas. 2 of the finest racing drivers on the planet. They finished 1 and 2 at this race last year, but not in this order. It was the Italian who slides down the inside. The CRG of the reigning world champion goes up and passes Anthony Abbas to lead once again. Can he make it 2 years in a row? Abbas back into 2nd spot. Up through the gearbox they come. Abbas is in the slipstream. He needs to respond immediately. Has a look at the back of the number 1 kart. Into the turn number 3 sweeper down the inside. De Conto in the CRG Road Rebel closes the door. We take a look at the replay. Very late under brakes. Down the inside, he just didn't stop until he got past the Frenchman. Anthony gave him room. He's got the best part of 20 laps to respond. The CRG's running 1 and 3 split by the Saudi kart. They do not want to finish 2nd again, 2 years in a row. It is all down to Anthony Abbas. His teammate Bas Lemmers, after coming together with Foré, is effectively out. The number 7 of Puhaka runs in P5, having been passed by Ben Henley. Into the turn number 3 sweeper. A little bit sideways on the exit. for Abbas. Needs to look after those Bridgestone tyres over a grueling 26 laps or 30 kilometres of this Wackersdorf circuit. Very wide on the exit. Henley closing up onto the back of J-Pex. Jorit Pex, German champion again, has raced at this circuit more times than he can count. Of course, he won at Le Mans in 2015 with one of the most sensational last lap passes in history. Will we see that again this afternoon in 17 laps time? De Conto just edges out ever so slightly from Abbas. Jorit runs in P3. Puhaka struggling to stay in touch with the leaders. Into the hairpin they go. Kramer's back up into 6th spot ahead of Lundberg. Hiltbrand absolutely flying, reeling off fastest lap after fastest lap, as is his teammate. Marco Ardigo in 12th spot with a 47.4. The fastest driver on the track is Marco Ardigo, the driver from Brescia. Still a long way to go in this race, 16 laps. We have not even passed half race distance. The KZ World Championships for 2017 here at Wackersdorf in Germany. There is Simo Puhaka. Remember, he started the season driving a CRG. We turned up for the last round of the WSK Supermaster Series and he was painted purple. Had switched teams in March of this year. Couldn't refuse the offer made by Cosmic. Promptly put his kart on pole position for the first round of the European Championships. Has had some technical issues, but has been super quick. As Abbas now closes up on the back of De Conto. The gap back down to 0.2 of a second. Stand the man Pex in P9 with the fastest lap of the race last time round. He's now lowered the mark to a 47.452. De Conto, many suggested if he could get the start, he would walk away with his second World Championship in a row. Anthony Abbas is fighting here this afternoon in Germany. He left the Spanish round of the European Championships with his arm in a sling after ending the race upside down. He's closing up on the back of the CRG. Will he make a move? Delicate into that super fast turn 3 sweeper. Closes up behind De Conto. Jorit Pex still runs in P3, still being pressured by the English driver Ben Henley. It's 1, 2, 3 and 4. The Italian, the Frenchman, the Dutch driver Jorit, the Englishman Ben Henley, and the driver from Tampere in Finland, Simo Puhaka, rounds out the 5. We go back 1.5 seconds to Marijn Kremers, the young Dutch driver with the hopes of Birolard behind him. He's running in 6th, still a good drive from Lundberg in 7th spot. Ahead of Hiltbrand, Kamponeski, and Stan Pex. Abbas, close to the back of De Conto, into the turn 3 sweeper. The Frenchman on the back of the Italian. De Conto is not having it all his own way. This is half race distance right here. Benjamin Henley in P4. The MC01, the team run by Armando Fellini, the super experienced kart race engineer for many, many a decade. His driver one step off a World Championship podium. De Conto on the exit, a nice run from the CRG Road Rebel. Leads the Sigma Sodi kart. Then it's J-Pex. Henley in the slipstream in P4. Abbas trying to do the same. Puhaka, there's Kremers, Lundberg, Hiltbrand, Stan the man, and Flavio rounds out the 10 as Henley slides down the inside to put the Mad Croc up onto the podium. Brilliant move by the Englishman. Kart number 23 now runs in position number 3 with more than half race distance covered in this, the 2017 KZ World Championships. Paolo De Conto from Treviso in northern Italy, just a stone's throw from the historic city of Venice. He finished second on the very last lap at Le Mans in 2015. He made up for it. 1 year ago, became world champion, and he's looking to go 2 years in a row. Anthony Abbas wants to stop that from happening. And I'll tell you, Ben Henley's not out of this battle as well. In 1 lap, he's dropped off Jorit Pex just a little bit. Trying to tag on to the back of Abbas and De Conto. Down the hill they come. The gap, 0.2 of a second. But it's like an elastic band going in and out depending on who gets the run on which particular corner. Abbas will have to make a move, closes up, under brakes. There's Henley in P3. As I mentioned, raced in the Le Mans 24 hours this year in an LMP2 car doing the European Le Mans Series. 2015 European champion. That was in the KF category. He actually won the round at Portimao in Portugal that year. Very busy driver is Ben. Not only off the track, but here this afternoon as well. He runs P3. World champions running 1 and 4. That's DeConto and Europex. Europex unlikely to go 2 in a row. He's off the podium at the moment. 8 laps now remaining. Paolo DeConto has not put a Bridgestone tyre out of place. Anthony Abbas needs to respond. DeConto, Europex, gently works the wheel of that CRG Road Rebel. Puhaka, there's Kramers. Lundberg still in an excellent position, number 7. The vice-European champion from 2014, the Swede. Hiltbrand in P8. Stan the Man runs P9, and Flavio Camponeschi from the eternal city of Rome rounds out the 10. Abbas closes up on the back of DeConto. Henley is gaining on them. Henley is just 0.7 of a second behind this battle. If Abbas makes the move, if it's not clean, the Englishman will be there to pounce. The Italian, the Frenchman, the Englishman running 1, 2, 3. Then the Dutchman, Jorrit Pex. Time running out for Anthony. Second in the World Championship last year. Again, Sodicat will have to wait another year to win their second World Championship if Abbas cannot do something spectacular here this afternoon. The gap, 0.28 of a second. Can Abbas close in under brakes? He's very, very late. DeConto, perfect drive so far. Looking to write his name into history. He won the first, second and third rounds of the European Championship in dominant fashion. He won the SCUSA Supermats in Las Vegas. He won in Mexico. He won the Race of Stars down under. Everything he touches turns to gold, and he's looking to be world champion 2 years in a row. But he's got a determined Frenchman right behind him. The number 8 Sodicat of Anthony Abbas down into the final corner. 7 laps now to go into the slipstream. Abbas, can he take advantage? This is where the CRG is a little bit nervous. Abbas closes up very late under brakes. Good driving from Anthony from Nantes in France. Not too far from where the Sodicat team are based in the western part of France. Henley in third spot has dropped off Jorrit Pex. The gap is still 0.7 of a second between Anthony and Ben. 3 different manufacturers, 3 different nations running 1, 2 and 3. DeConto, Abbas and Henley. Italy, France and England. Jorrit Pex, Puhaka still in P5. Then it's still Kramers, Lundberg, Stan Pex, Hiltbrand and Camponeschi. Artigo up into 11th spot. How about Felicitiani from Group 24? He's in 12th. Ahead of Jordan Lennox Lamb, Jorge Pescador and Andrea Dale, the 2014 European champion, rounds out the 15. Well, time is running out for the French driver. Abbas, ragged down through the hill that time. DeConto pulls away just a few inches, but Abbas very late under brakes. The huge crowd watching on, willing either their boy on, Paolo or Anthony. For the neutral, there's a lot that want to see the Frenchman win after the disastrous season he had in Europe, but Paolo is very, very popular as well. Down into the hairpin. Abbas again closes up. He's not close enough to make a lunge. Henley is closing in. There are 5 laps to go. This is the 2017 World Championship on the line. Henley is coming. The driver from Manchester in England in the Mag Croc kart is closing in on the Frenchman in front of him. DeConto continues to lead. It's 0.2 of a second. Then it's just half a second back to Ben Henley. Last time round, Henley was slightly faster than the Frenchman in front of him. Through the final corner again, up through the gearbox. They complete lap number 22. 4 laps now remain here at Varkersdorf. The KZ World Championship on the line for 2017. Hanley gaining in. Europex wants to drag himself back up onto the podium as well. De Condo has driven a perfect race. Look how close Abbas is to the back of the Italian. Hanley can sense he's in with a chance here. If the two in front of him come together, the Englishman will pounce. Europex driving the wheels off that number 9 CRG, but cannot get himself into the battle. Abbas, super late under brakes. Will he make the move? Not this time. 3 laps to go at the end of this one. The World Championships here in Germany. Abbas looks behind him. Ben is coming, Anthony. He's coming for you and coming hard. 3 laps now remain. It is still De Conto. This is where the CRG is nervous. This is where Abbas closes up under brakes. The Frenchman all over the back of the Italian. Can De Conto make it 2 years in a row? Or will Abbas give Sodicat their first World Championship since David Tedien in 1993? Hanley is closing in. Hanley senses he can win this. If Abbas and De Conto come together, Hanley will get both of them. Look how close the back of the Englishman is. JPEX, you're in position number 4. There's Abbas. The gap, 0.17 of a second. Again, they come around. Abbas cannot make inroads. Great horsepower from the TM of Paolo De Conto. This is his worst part of the track, and it's Abbas's best part. Look how late he goes under brakes. Almost misses the apex. Hanley, ever so close. The CRG, the Sodicat, the MC01, 1, 2, and 3. The 2017 World Championship here at Varkersdorf in Germany. Down the hill they come. The gap is out to 0.27 of a second. Paolo De Conto has not been beaten in a year. World champion, European champion, looking to go 2 years in a row. There is Hanley in the number 23 cart, running in position number 3. Europex and Puhaka rounds out the 5. This is the last lap of the World Championship. Abbas, surely the Frenchman is too far back. He finished second last year. Paolo De Conto won it last year. It is exactly the same order as 12 months ago. And unless the Frenchman can do something spectacular, that is how it will be. Look how close Hanley is. He's coming for the Frenchman. Abbas, will he do something desperate? Down the hill they come for the final time. Paolo De Conto surely will not throw it away from here. The CRG team into the final passing opportunity. Abbas is too far back, accelerates up through the gearbox, up over the rise, the final corner. The checkered flag comes out. Paolo De Conto writes his name into history. He is world champion for the 2nd year in a row. Anthony Abbas second, and a brilliant drive from Ben Hanley to come home in position number 3. Incredible. Paolo De Conto, is he one of the greats of world karting? Well, it's hard to argue against it. He won in 2016 after finishing second at Le Mans in 2015. European champion, winning 3 of the 4 rounds. And again, he takes out the CIK FIA World Championships, the big one for 2017. The driver from Treviso in Italy, absolutely ecstatic. CRG have won the big one for the 2nd year in a row. We don't know whether to say commiserations or congratulations to Abbas. He drove as hard as he possibly could. The Frenchman finishing second in 2016. He's finished second in 2017. And a brilliant drive from Ben Hanley. The Englishman, remember, he started out of grid number 13. The MC01 on fire here in Germany. Congratulations to the driver from Manchester in England. Finishes 3rd. Again, another World Championship podium for Ben. We have waited 12 months to know the answer. Who will be the world champion? Well, all we needed to do really was watch a replay of last year's race as we watch the highlights. Jeremy Iglesias, remember the Frenchman in the Formula K kart, started on the outside of the front row of the grid, led the opening laps of the World Championship. But it all went wrong for him on the second lap. Patrick Hayek from just over the border in the Czech Republic, from probably too far back, up the inside, and both Iglesias and Hayek out of the World Championship. DeConto started out of grid number 4, picked them off one by one, got past Abbas. Henley was trying to follow him through. He got past Europex, but DeConto pulled away. And for the second year in a row, CRG, DeConto, Italy, won the World Kart Racing Championships. The softly spoken driver from Treviso, just outside Venice in northern Italy. We'll see him up on the podium in a few moments. There he is, kart number 1, the CRG. Again, he defends. He is the world champion 2016 and 2017. Kisses his helmet in delight. Incredible scenes here on a dry circuit at Wackersdorf in Germany. Paolo DeConto, the world champion 2 years in a row. Abbas, second in the Sodi kart for France. And Ben Henley from grid 13, just 0.8 of a second off the world championship. Europec was 4th, Puhaka 5th, Moraine Kramers. A good result for the young Dutchman. He will be back in 2018, finishing 6th in the world championship. Head of Douglas Lundberg, Stan Peggs, Petro Hilbrand, and Flavio Camponeschi rounds out the 10. A few years ago, we were asking, in the years of Marco Ardigo's domination, who can stop the green team? Well, how the tide turns. It wasn't long ago Red Bull were dominating Formula One. Now it's an achievement if you can even pass a Mercedes in Grand Prix racing. It's almost been mirrored in World Championship karting. CRG certainly on top for the second year in a row. They are on top of Everest. DeConto and CRG, world champions, as the Italian defends his world title. Stay with us. You're watching the KZ World Championships live from Wackersdorf in Germany. The podium presentations right there in just a few moments. Yes, we're up here on the podium for the KZ World Championship. History repeats for the second year in a row. Paolo DeConto, second at Le Mans in 2015. He won it last year, and well, he's won it again today. Anthony Abbas, second in 2016 and second again this afternoon. Brilliant drive also from the Englishman. We'll see him up on the podium in a moment. Ben Henley from grid number 13 came within 0.8 of a second of the World Championship. 3 different manufacturers, 3 different nations in the top 3, and fortunately re-raced the 2017 KZ World Championship on a dry circuit here at Wackersdorf in Germany. The drivers making their way up to the podium. Ben, Anthony, and Paolo. Along with the team manager for CRG, the Road Rebel, the chassis to beat, it would seem, 2 years in a row. Emotional scenes here in Germany. DeConto, 2-time world champion, softly spoken Italian. He'll be very emotional up on the podium here at Wackersdorf in a few moments' time. Don't forget, in 2 weeks, we go to the PFI International Circuit at Lincolnshire, England. We lose the gearbox, we go direct drive racing for the OK and Junior World Championships. Paolo absolutely ecstatic. We cast our minds back to Le Mans 2015, and he was devastated after he led 22 of 23 laps. He was passed on the final tour by Europex. He virtually didn't sleep for a year. He was devastated. He made up for it in Kristianstad 12 months ago, and again, he holds on to his title. He is now a 2-time world champion. Anthony Abbas, second last year, and second again, once again, in 2017. 3 different nations, 3 different manufacturers in the top 3. Just about to get underway with the presentations in a few moments' time. You just saw 34 of the finest racing drivers on the planet decide the World Championship, but in the end, history has repeated itself. A delighted Paolo De Conto joins us up on the podium, and we're ready to get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, 3rd place from grid number 13. Let's hear it for the Englishman. 3rd in the World Championships today, Benjamin Henley. In 2nd place, the driver from France who drove the wheels off his Sodi kart. In the end, he couldn't quite do it. 2nd last year, 2nd again. Congratulations, Anthony Abbas. Le Mans 2015, Paolo De Conto led for 22 of 23 laps. He finished 2nd. He made up for it a year later in Sweden. He has defended his world title. The newly crowned repeat world champion, Paolo De Conto! And representing CRG Racing, Arno Kozlinski. As we stand by for the national anthem of Italy. I'd like to call on the Vice President of the ACV, Mr. Karl-Heinz Hirth, to present the 3rd place trophy to Ben Henley. The Director of ADAC Motorsport and Classic, Mr. Thomas Voss, to present the 2nd place trophy to Anthony Abbas of France. The Vice President of the CIK FIA, Mr. Kees van der Grint, again to present the winning trophy to the 2nd year in a row to Paolo De Conto! And the head of the sports department for AVD, Mr. Hans Bruns, to present the winning team's trophy to Arno Kozlinski of CRG Racing. As the girls step in to present the flowers to 3rd place, Ben, 2nd place, Anthony, and the winner, again, Paolo De Conto. Ladies and gentlemen, your podium for 2017. The girls also to make a special presentation of the magnificent Avio Milano timepiece and Panta voucher to Ben, Anthony and Paolo. And And we step in to speak, first of all, with the Englishman who has finished third, just 0.8 of a second off the World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, from grid number 13, what a drive, Benjamin Henley. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it was a bit of a tough job out there. When we saw the grid for the final, we were 13, we thought it might not be a lucky number. But no, we had a great first few laps, and I was pushing as hard as I could to catch the leaders, but it was just a bit too big of a job.
Ben, you almost did catch him at the end. You got very, very close.
Yeah, I was hoping Abbas would try a crazy lunge or something, but he didn't do. So congratulations to Paolo and Anthony for first and second.
Congratulations to yourself as well, Ben, third in the World Championships. Anthony Abbas, I don't know whether to say commiserations or congratulations. Second last year in Kristianstad. We know you drove the wheels off that Soddy kart. Fastest qualifier. I think it's this shoulder that I don't want to touch because you came back from injury heroically. A brilliant drive, vice world champion for the second year in a row. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is just amazing feeling for me because in 1 month ago I cannot eat by myself, and now I'm okay. I want to thank all of my team. This year's Paolo again is the best driver of the world, but this year's I was very close to him, and I need to work again because I do a mistake in the final, my chassis and my engine, so my material was perfect. I do a second because I make a mistake, but Paolo is stronger today, but see you next year.
Congratulations, Anthony. You are a true champion. Paolo Di Conto, for the last year we've been saying the reigning world champion. We can say that again for all of 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, Paolo Di Conto, the newly crowned defending world champion. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Yeah, like last year. No, it was an amazing race, and every race is different. And this time I was not quick like last year. And Anthony gave me a really strong race because he stayed all the race next to me, close to me. And it was difficult because the first mistake I can lose. Like him, he mistake and he lose the championship. And it was really easy. We arrived every time to the limit, and who mistake for the first get winner and lose. And so I have to say thanks to everybody for the special, to my special team, to my special family that come here, to my special mechanic, to all the staff in CRG, all the staff in TM, all the people work in the factory, all the people work around me, and I say thanks to everybody, and thanks a lot, and see you next year.
Grazie. Bravissimo, Paolo. Bravo. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the race here in Wackersdorf. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the Direct Drive World Championships. You've just seen 34 of the finest racing drivers in the world. Ben Henley in third place, second Anthony Abbas. And let's hear it one more time. The newly crowned world champion, Paolo Di Conto. We'll see you in England in 2 weeks' time.